I first played Let's Meet Adam back in 2017 when the game first dropped. And I have to say, this game left quite the impression on me. It markets itself as an erotic bara thriller, but in reality, I would say it's more of a psychological horror with a few muscly dudes thrown in. I really honestly don't know if I would even advertise this as a bara game, mainly because a lot of elements that are in most bara games I don't really see here. You're not seeing a whole lot of beefcake there. I mean, I would say most of the guys in this game are muscular, but that's really not the focus of this game. This game focuses on the horrors of preference and fetishization. And I thought that was very interesting because I feel like putting the issue of preference and fetishization, especially in the gay dating scene, is not, I feel like putting that in a horror atmosphere is not done nearly enough. Your main character, Adam, is social media famous, and he is very attractive by, I would say, most people's standards. Nice body, good looks, pretty eyes, chiseled jawline, and he is an aspiring movie star with his friend Vince. And you can see with his interactions with other characters how he seems to view the world. He's a little vain in some senses. Some of the ways he monologues internally about some people shows that he definitely thinks there is a way that people should carry themselves and how they should look. Although he's not like outwardly mean to people who don't fit, you know, our standard of beautiful or pretty, as you'll see if you play if you end up playing the game. I found it very interesting when they bring up dating apps and you are shown a lot of the characters' dating app profiles. How, if you have ever been on an app like Grindr or Jack'd, how a lot of people's profiles will just blatantly list out their preference, such as no femmes, only fit. You know, they'll say they don't like the company of certain racial groups, you know, maybe a certain age, things like that. So that kind of was very interesting to be hit with in a horror atmosphere. And when the topic of fetishization comes along, that was pretty interesting too. That's something else you don't really see. And I think it's because a lot of, especially gay erotic games, I don't want to say rely on fetishization, but they kind of play with fetishization for a lot of their storylines. You can see some of the games I've played on this channel, or some popular games that people are playing here on YouTube, they play with fetishization in their storylines too. So to be confronted with it in this game was also very fascinating. Now, the story, in my opinion, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like it was a bit long-winded. There was a lot of talking. It was getting to a point where I was like, okay, not everyone has to say something. You know, someone can just be quiet and just get the ball rolling. There's a lot of talking back and forth to each other over events that have just transpired in front of people's faces. So I feel like that would be one of my few gripes with the game. I'm like, can we just move the story along and see who's doing all this, what's going on, what's the mystery, instead of just everyone talking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The puzzles were okay. I didn't really like them, but they weren't too hard. I will say they require outside knowledge. Some of them do. And I feel like a lot of people probably wouldn't like that. But yeah, if you haven't checked this game out, I would give it a look. It's pretty interesting and thought-provoking. It has a sequel, Let's Meet Adam 2. I have not played that one. And if I remember correctly, this one advertises itself as a bar too. I think I'm gonna end up playing this one too. But those are my little thoughts. So I'll talk to you guys next time.